Hey, hello. Hey, it's David from davidnprogress.com. Welcome to my office. It is April 2020, and I'm now on week 4 of working from home. And I thought that was a good opportunity to create a little video, write a blog post, and share with you my top 10 tips for being an effective and productive work from home employee. Are you ready? First of all, before I get to the tips, I just want to say I am so very thankful to have this opportunity to work from home. And I'm even more thankful for all of you who are out there and don't have this opportunity. Whatever your front line might look like, whether that's the grocery store, the hospital, wherever that might be, we want to thank you because you're out there keeping the world moving. Okay, let's get into those top 10 tips. The first thing you want to do is set up a dedicated space. And you can see this is my dedicated space at my house. It's my little office at my little house and not normally set up for work. And I had to make some changes to make it my dedicated workspace. Yes, I've got my laptop on some books and I have my monitor on some books as well. I like the dual screen thing and I like it at a certain level so that I can see well. Your dedicated space may be something different. You may use a kitchen table. You may have a table or a space set up in your living room. It may be out on the patio. I don't know. But it must be a place that's dedicated that this is your workspace and this is where you're going to be the most productive. You're going to want to choose something, tip number 2, that is away from distractions. I'm a little bit ADD, so while I'm working through the day, I don't have the TV turned on. I don't have my phone next to me where I'm going to pick it up and get on the social media. If I had family at home, it can be really distracting to go and see what fun thing they're doing out there, what movie they're watching or learning activity they're doing. I want to make sure that you are free of those distractions so that you can concentrate on your productivity and still be that good employee that you want to be when you're home. You also want to make sure, as part of those distractions, is to establish clear boundaries with those around you. If you have a big schedule throughout the day, you might want to print it out and stick it on the door or have it someplace so the family knows what time you're going to be in meetings or what time that you have set aside for your productive time or whatever, so that you have some clear boundaries. If you do participate in conference calls, you want to make sure the family is aware of that so that they know when they can talk to you and when they might need to leave you alone. Tip number 4, take a shower. As I say in my blog post, even Ferris Bueller took a shower on his day off. What I have done is made sure that I have continued my same routine that I would during a workday. I get up at the same time, I eat breakfast, I take a shower, and I get dressed. And I'm ready for the day. By doing this, you've established a routine. You're waking it up, telling your brain that now I'm going to work. Those sweatpants might be comfortable, those ratty shorts might be comfortable, but they may also be sending a message to your brain that you're on vacation, which is going to slow down your productivity and perhaps make you not as effective. Now, I'm not saying you need to put the suit on or you need to put on whatever that fancy dress clothes that you might normally wear to work, but you at least want to keep it decent and make sure that you are taking care of yourself at the same time. Now, someone that is a person of great discipline, tip number 5, is probably going to be really good at working from home. They're going to get up, they're going to get after it, they're going to start grinding throughout that day, and they're going to get it done. On the other hand, there are people out there that a big part of their discipline and their success was the environment around them. That boss that was checking in with them, that schedule that they had to adhere to, and now suddenly they don't have that anymore. If you're someone that is maybe a little bit less disciplined, what I recommend is making sure that you set up checklists and goals. This actually is good for anybody. So at the beginning of the day, what you're going to want to do is you're going to set a couple of goals of what you want to have accomplished by the end of the day and write that down. At the end of the day, reflect back on those goals, look at it and see, did you accomplish that? If you didn't, this is a good time to write it down as a pre-goal for the next day. It's even a good time to start thinking about that next day and write down what you want to accomplish. This will help that mind transition into what I did today to what I'm going to do tomorrow. But most importantly, it gives you the opportunity to look back and see and think about what type of success you experienced throughout your day. It's a great way to get going. It's a great way to get ready for the next day. Now, you've been doing your work, you've created your goals, you've done checklists. What you want to do, and tip number 6, is you want to move. I checked my Garmin the other day, And typically when I'm at work, I would probably, according to Garmin, move around at least 4 to 5 miles. That's going to the restroom, that's walking over to the break room, it's walking around and talking to my various friends at work. Well, here at home, there's not that far to go. Your mind works best in chunks. So one thing that you want to do is make sure that at least once an hour you take a small break. That is not necessarily taking a 20-30 minute break. It can be something as simple as getting up and moving around the house a little bit and then coming back and getting back to work. Now, when it comes time to take a break, you want to really take a break. That means it's okay to step away from the computer, step away from the work, and take a true mental break. For me, 15 minutes, I can grab the dog and take a couple of quick laps around the block, and she's happy, and my mind stays clear while I'm away. When you're at lunch, take a real lunch. Make sure that you're taking some time to shut the mind down to get ready for whatever it is you have planned to do next. Out, you're alone. Back at the work office, there was probably somebody there that you could talk to and that you could collaborate when it comes to doing things. You want to make sure that you're still staying collaborative in your work. And that is so easy nowadays. You've got Skypes, you've got Teams, you've got WebEx, you've got Zoom, you've got all kinds of different tools out there that are suddenly even more popular and more visible. Make sure you're reaching out to your peers and that you are staying together to collaborate and be successful on your projects. Heck, this is even a good time to meet people that perhaps you hadn't met before to collaborate on projects. You might find you're even more effective and successful than you were previously. Now, as you're collaborating, you want to make sure that you stay social. Something that has become really popular on the teams that I'm with is having social happy hours. You load up the webcam, you with people that you are your coworkers that are now spread all over the place, and you have one of those virtual type happy hours. The key in a social happy hour is to make it personal only. So we're not going to talk about work, we're not going to talk about our projects, we're going to talk about each other and how we're handling this situation. Given what's going on in the world, that is probably something very important to someone, that they can talk a little bit about how they're feeling and how the world is treating them as they're suddenly in such a different environment. And then another thing you want to do, and this is a very difficult thing to do, is plan that hard stop. Now, if you're a non-exempt, an hourly employee, you want to make sure that your hours are set with your boss, that they know what times you're going to be working, what time you're going to start, and what time you're going to finish. It can be very easy and very tempting to go ahead and work through lunch, work past lunch, go ahead and work after your stop time and work before your start time. If you're an hourly employee, you need to be paid for that time. So you want to make sure that you have this established with your manager when you're going to be starting and when you're going to be stopping, and make sure that you do those things. Now, if you're a non-exempt employee, someone who's salaried, this can be especially hard. In the past, when I worked from home, some of the things that I struggled with is that work is always here, which makes it very difficult to stop. With work always just a few feet away, 7 days a week, it is so tempting to come in and just always be working. That's going to be great for a few days, but I'm telling you, if you don't set some boundaries on when you start and when you stop, you're going to burn yourself out. That is not good for you, it's not good for your family, and it's not good for your company either. So make sure that you set some boundaries for yourself of when you're going to start work and when you're going to stop work, and that's going to make you a much better person in the long run. So those were my top 10 tips. I am sure that there are many, many, many more tips on being an effective employee while working from home. So here's my ask for you. I would like you to add a comment, let me know, and more importantly, let anyone else who may happen to watch this video know what is your top tip for being an effective work from home employee. And again, I want to thank you. I want to thank anyone that has watched this video for doing so. I want to thank you for sharing the video with your friends who may need some help on being effective and working from home. And again, thank you to all of you out there that are doing all you can to be effective wherever that may be and however that might look like during these trying times.